All right, guys, what's going on? Jeremy Lafrentz with Backstage Entertainment. Definitely showing you backstage. We got Chris, Underoath.
Yes.
Chris, how are you doing?
I'm awesome. Having a great day.
What's the worst interview you've done that they open with? Is it usually a how's this tour going kind of thing? Are you guys sick of answering stuff like that?
No, I tend to ask friends that when they're on tour. Like, I'll just be like, hey, how's the tour going?
That's conversation, right?
Yeah, I've had more than one interview where we'll start it and they'll ask me, like, they literally have no idea who I am or who the band are. They were just told to interview. So those are always fun because I'm just trying to explain who we are.
Well, and for viewers out there, I mean, I know the band's had some history and, taking a break in 2013, coming back 2015. Tell us exactly your history with the band and where you've kind of come from with it.
That's it's kind of a long story, but to make it shorter, it was a thing where I was in high school, and I went to high school with our singer, and our old singer when we were in high school, and it was just friends in high school playing together, and at the time it wasn't really much of a commitment. It was like, they asked like, hey, do you want to join the band? I was like, yeah, sure, but I was like 16 and just hanging out, and didn't plan on it being my career or anything, but it's
kind of worked out.
Huh? It's been a long time, but it's awesome. It's cool.
So we were talking to you beforehand. We have, if people can kind of see the setup here, you got your own setup. You said you are working on something. Can you kind of talk a little bit about it? I know or is it like under the wraps?
I'm not able to announce anything specific yet, but I'm scoring a film. I'm in like the last 2% of being done right now, which I'm really stoked on. Just putting finishing touches on things and whatnot. But I'm going to be super vocal about it when it's coming out.
I'm sure. So, and there's so many social medias anymore that you can follow the band's page. You have your own stuff, I'm sure too.
Yeah.
Where is it that you like to interact the most? Because there's everything out: Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. What do you kind of interact with most?
Personally, for Facebook, I don't friend anybody on Facebook that I don't know in real life. So that's mostly just like friends and family. I don't have a Snapchat. Basically it's Twitter and Instagram. I like just kind of going back and forth on those. I think those are fun. I don't do it a ton, but I like the idea of somebody being able to just shoot me a quick message and ask me a question, and I can answer it pretty quickly. Like that a guy hit me up yesterday asking about a synth that I used on a particular song, and I sent him the thing that I used, and that's something where when I was growing up, if I would have had that ability, like my favorite band, to be able to just send a message and you'd be like, oh man, what guitar did you use on this song, and him being able to just write back, that would have blown my mind. So I think it's really cool. I like it.
It used to be you'd get a P.O. box you'd mail to.
Oh, I would do that too. I would write the letters and never receive anything in return. So
do you have a good childhood memory that kind of helped you get to where you are now?
Man, I think just in general, I grew up in a house with a lot of music being played all the time. My dad was into a lot of Dire Straits, 38 Special, that sort of thing, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, and then my mom was on the other end of it. She was really into Aretha Franklin and Four Tops and stuff like that. More like soul type stuff. So it was a real wide ranging musical taste household, which I think would probably influenced what it is that I do now. But as far as playing music, I didn't really start playing music until I was in high school. That was just a thing. I was like, oh, I wonder if I can play guitar, and I asked my mom for a guitar, and she bought me one, and that's kind of where, and then just went from there. And then I started playing keyboard after that, and then that brought me to here. So
So, and you guys are doing awesome. I mean, the new album is out, Erase Me, and you guys have had some singles and everything out too. What are you guys really part of the picking process of which singles release first, and how hard is that to do?
I'll say we're somewhat involved in it. We used to be very hands-on with everything, I think to a fault. From T-shirt designs to everything down the line to support on tours and production and all this stuff. But you know, we broke up early 2013. We thought we weren't going to do it anymore. Very long story short, we ended up coming back together and saying, like, you know, well, if we wanted to play music together, in what way would we be able to do that to where we would all love to do it and not get burnt out and just enjoy it all the time? And we realized the key to that for us is only doing the things that we love to do in the band, and that is write, record, and play live.
Right.
And anything past that, we made the decision that we will take the hit and pay someone to do.
Right.
And for us, that was just a big mental load off.
Oh, I'm sure.
And part of that is, you know, having a team of people working for us that we trust. And if they say, hey, we think you guys should do this, you know, we'll have questions here and there, but we're consciously saying, like, okay, yeah, that'll be good. Aside from, like, you know, writing and recording, like, that's something where that's all us. Like, we're very much like, this is the record, this is what it's going to be, and we don't want anybody to have any input on that. So all that to say, our label is an amazing team of people, and we handed them the record, and they said, okay, we're going to do everything we can with it. And so when they come to us and they say, we think that this should be the single, and then this single, and then this single, for the most part, we're just very much like, okay, you guys know what you're doing.
Right.
You know, we write and play, you guys take care of the rest of it. So yeah.
Yep. So you feel like it's better this time around?
Oh yeah.
Back. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Very lot less stress, a lot more fun. You know, our days are filled with hanging out and just enjoying doing it, and not, you know, being buried in, you know, 100 email chains on t-shirt designs and video directors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So good. So you guys are doing really what you love. This time.
Yeah.
Yep. So we just talked to John with Skillet. We interviewed him, and you guys are on tour with him. One thing we asked him, because we all know of his beliefs and the band's, you know, classified as a Christian rock band, do you guys get, you know, I guess, do you have any sort of thoughts on the classification of Underoath as a band? Have you been labeled as such, you know, when you tour with bands like Skillet or anything, do you kind of ever get that classification like they do?
I think we used to, but I think rightfully so, you know, because when we were younger, you know, I think that we all were in a spot where we individually believed close enough of a thing to where we were able to say, hey, we're a Christian band. Right. But as we got older, that became less we are not able to do that and have a good conscience. We are not able to come out on stage and say we are a Christian band, or give an interview and say we're a Christian band, and be able to do that in good conscience, because individually we're starting to
hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, my mom's FaceTiming me. Sorry.
Hey, you could take it if you want.
No, we're good.
We would get mom in the interview.
No,
that would be so funny.
Yeah, it's actually probably my son trying to call him. But
there you go.
But no, we were not able to do that in good conscience, just because individually our beliefs had differed so much that, you know, we didn't want to say that anymore. And because I think that above all else, we've always really valued being honest with people, like being honest with the people that we're playing for, being honest in our lyrics and everything. So so to be, for us to say that we're a Christian band would not be a truthful thing to say. But that said, you know, people can classify us however we want. Like, we're not really big on telling people what they should call us and what they shouldn't. So you know, we tend to just say we're a rock band, and we're heavy sometimes. So
and let it go.
Yeah,
right? Right. Okay. So I pulled this out, and I'm curious. You've not asked any questions yet about this.
No, I assumed it might come out at some point, or I thought it just might be a prop.
And sometimes I don't like telling you before, because I like the look on your face too. Right. So our interviews are kind of out of the norm a little bit. So we call this our BSE box. Fans have found us on socials and following us at BSE Rocks, and they've gotten their own questions in here. So it's like a box you choose questions from. So it's general questions, and we have a little twist that goes with it too.
Okay.
So we will describe the process for you the first time around, then you'll get it.
Okay.
So first, draw a question.
Okay.
And then you can read it.
Okay. Okay. Do I read it out loud?
Yes, please.
Okay. What is one thing you have to have at every show?
Okay.
Okay.
So before we answer that, well, here's another thing too. We talked about before we started this is you guys have, and basically all bands when they're playing a show, especially an arena setting, they have what's called a rider, stuff that they need when they perform or want. Yeah. Let's say it's just, and that's the thing too is I've been involved with the writer process before, and you have your Christmas list, so to speak, and sometimes you get this, and sometimes people do fulfill it all. So, but you guys ask for anything as far as beverages, food, anything like that?
We don't ask for a whole lot. Here, I'll switch spots with you.
Yes, please.
So we ask for Diet Coke.
Okay.
Water. Deli tray, vegetable tray, mostly. That's the main stuff. Some sort of whiskey, some sort of vodka, and then chips, and some sort of beer. I don't even know what Modelo, I guess. I don't drink beer, but we asked for that. And honestly, that's basically it, because we like to keep it pretty
simple, huh?
Pretty simple. I asked for these because they are a great snack.
Oh, yeah.
And they're super easy, as long as you have a fork, which I don't have, so they sit unopened right now. But yeah, we keep it super simple. So
okay.
Here, I'll switch with you again.
All right. So back to the question. It kind of put us off in a tangent, but okay. So what do you have to have for every show? And 1 through 75, pick a number.
22.
Okay. So while you answer this question, you have to talk like you inhaled helium. So you have actions that go along with this, okay?
Well, one thing I actually have to have at every show is my computer, because if I don't have a computer, then I can't play my keyboards. That was awful. That was
you're a good sport about it. You just jumped right into that.
Yeah, that was bad. Sorry.
All right, well, let's try another one. So you can throw that one down so we don't pick that again. All right, so read the question.
If you trashed a hotel room and could sign in as any other musician, who would it be? I got this one already.
Okay, all right. 75 again.
19.
19. You don't care about anything.
Okay.
Perfect.
Easy. I would sign in as Emery, because they did almost the same thing to me once. We were touring with them in Australia, and I went down to check out from my hotel room, and there was like a $400 and something charge on my room, and they had gone down to the pool and just got a bunch of drinks and charged it all to my room.
Yeah.
And the same day, there were people outside the hotel that were just wanting to like get autographs and stuff, and they thought that Emery was us on their bus. So they were pulling away, and people were like wanting to get our autographs from them, and their singer yells out the window and he says, somebody said like, "Can I have your autograph?" And he just goes, "Fuck you, I'm in Underoath." And then they drove off. So the people thought we were just like these big a-holes. So that said, it would be Emery, because yeah.
Yeah, you were waiting for a question just to...
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Try another one?
All right. Ask the interviewer or cameraman a question.
Ooh, so you got to pick one of us first.
Okay.
Oh, he's pretending to look busy.
All right. Let me see. I'll ask you. What was the worst interview you ever did? The dude that you interviewed where you walked out and you were just like, that was god awful. Oh. Actually, you don't have to name names, because I know how this stuff goes. But how long ago was it?
Okay, so when we first started 8 years ago, I would blame it more so on myself, because starting out interviews, you don't know how to interact with band, and sometimes you fanboy out a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, it was really kind of what I asked you at the beginning too, is like, how do interviews start out, and they're just bad interviews, you can tell from the start.
Yeah.
I would start interviews with, hey, where'd you get your band name? Or, hey, how's the tour going? And you can watch every other video out there that you're in, and you can see that answer. Yeah. And so I'd say starting out, I don't know that I'd have to go through and just see which one was like a really bad
There's
one.
so many bad ones.
Oh man, when we started, it was just like I can't even go back and watch my own interviews, but it was just those dumb questions.
It's like your old demos when you're in a band. You just don't want to go. You don't want to go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Do you recall an interview even recently that you were just from the start? You were like, oh crap, another one of these.
No, I don't do very many bad interviews, which I'm thankful for. It's like once in a blue moon, like I'll sit down and I'm just like, why am I even here? There was a day of interviews that we had last year, like a portion of our day that was set aside for press, and it was like all these like radio stations, but none of them knew who we were.
Right.
But we were still for some reason scheduled to do the interviews, and those were they weren't bad. They were just weird because it was just like people asking us like, so do you play music, right? And I was just like, oh gosh, man. But
we've
first world problems though. I had nothing to actually complain about.
We've heard that before though too, is that bands like when the interviewer does their research and knows a little bit about you coming into it.
Anything is good.
A quick Google search kind of takes care of it.
Go on the Wikipedia for 1 minute and then you're good.
Yeah, exactly. So have you been blown out of the water by any questions? Be like, whoa, that was actually a really good question.
There's an interview in particular I remember. This was years ago. I think it was in like 2007. The dude was just he wrote for the LA Times, and we were doing an entire day of press at our publicist's office in LA. Yeah. And I don't remember any questions in particular that he asked, but I remember I sat there with him for an hour, and I remember walking out of that being like, that's like the best interview I've ever done. Like he just had, his questions were very like, how does this make you feel? Like it wasn't like, so tell me about this song or tell me about that song. It's like, when you hear this, what does that say to you? Like very intellectual, very like on another level, and we got pretty deep. It was cool. I don't remember the guy's name or any of the questions, but I'll never forget
how
that.
You had that one at the top of your mind, that just shows how
whenever I think of good interviews,
2007,
it was a long time ago. It was a really long time ago.
That one sticks with you.
Yeah
well, hopefully ours does that a little bit for you, but I don't know about that. I don't think 12 years later you're going to remember
maybe
that.
Not, but no offense, I've done a lot of them.
Well, I'm sure so but I guess wrapping it all up, what advice would you give to people that are watching you, want to do what you do? What is your best advice for them, even younger kids growing up?
I think my best advice would be to play music because you have to play music. Like I think that if you're doing music or any other art to become quote unquote successful, like however you determine what that success is, like if it's like a size of the show or record sales or anything like that, like if you're doing it to achieve those things, you're gonna quit way before you actually achieve that stuff. Like because we did this for years and years and years, and like never made any money. We would pay to go on tour. The day we get home, we would have to go to work. Just in debt, all that stuff. But it was just something that we loved to do, so we just continued to do it. So I would say just do it because you have a love for it, and if you never see what I guess the world would view as success, like big shows or lots of record sales or a ton of fans or whatever, you'll still be fulfilled because you're doing something that you love. So at the end of the day, you'll still be happy. So
Okay, well, that's a good message to end on there. So once again, guys, Underoath, check them out, all the socials, a quick Google search like we talked about. We'll find them all right there. Once again, Chris, Underoath, Backstage Entertainment. Hey everyone, thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to us on YouTube to see all of our interviews and backstage footage. Also find us on our other socials by searching at BSE Rocks or by clicking the links below in the video. By becoming a fan of Backstage Entertainment, you can enter in contests to win autographed prizes. From Backstage Entertainment, I'm Jeremy Lafrentz.